a lot of commercial real estate and real estate development. And it's got a great mixed-use community going up in Clear Lake, right across the street from NASA. As I said in the earlier segment, I'm excited about these combination residential and retail communities where people are kind of moving back to like a downtown. We saw a lot of resurgence with urban renewals in some towns as people migrated to the suburbs and revitalization of downtown areas. And now we're actually building communities at First Colony and Town Center and some of the other communities throughout the city. So I'm excited to have Edward on the show with Griffin Partners, and he's CFO of Griffin Partners. Came there 2002. And
actually I'm president now.
President now.
I got promoted.
See, if you come in with the right name, Corey, and just work your way up, you get you get there. But we are so excited about having you on the show today. Edward, tell me a little about Griffin Partners.
Thanks for having me, Steve, and I want to thank Greg Langford also for inviting me on the show. Griffin Partners is a commercial real estate firm. We're based here in Houston, Texas. We own predominantly office buildings all over the state of Texas, as far west as El Paso. We own buildings in Dallas and San Antonio and Houston. And San Antonio and Houston are our largest concentration of office buildings, about 4.5 million square feet, just shy of 20 properties. We manage all of the property that we own, and we also lease some of it, particularly here locally. In some of the other markets, we hire local real estate agents for us in those markets to do the leasing for us. And it's a very exciting business. It's been a good time to be in the commercial real estate business for the past several years. Since I joined the firm in 2001, I'd say my timing has been impeccable.
That's the key, isn't it? It's always about timing.
It is exciting. We have 7 partners in our firm and about 90 employees, and we are really proud of what we have done, and we have a good time doing it.
That's great. Well, tell me about the scope of your project you're planning near NASA in Clear Lake.
Be delighted to. You mentioned mixed use. It certainly is a mixed use project. Mixed use is something that is somewhat new here to Texas and to Houston, although as you mentioned earlier, we've seen some very strong and successful examples of that, particularly down in Sugar Land and also up in the Woodlands. Starting to see more of that in other parts of the city. To a certain extent, mixed use is a function of the increasing density of the cities in Texas. We talked a little bit about that earlier. It is really a function of trying to get people together and having more types of real estate located close together so that people can walk from their office to a place to shop or a place to eat or maybe even a place to live. For example, in our project, we're going to have 5 different types of uses, actually. We will have residential use, which is about a 320-unit high-end apartment complex. That is going to be built by our friends at Fine Interests, Martin Fine. And
Great guy.
We are going to, absolutely, it's been wonderful working with them. We're also going to have a Marriott hotel. We are going to have the City Hall for Nassau Bay. This project is actually in the community of Nassau Bay, which is one of the beautiful waterfront communities that you alluded to a while ago.
Absolutely.
Right on the lake there in Clear Lake. And in addition, we will have along NASA Parkway, you know, you and I probably call it NASA Road 1. We've lived around here for a while, but it's actually been renamed recently to NASA Parkway, and it's a little bit hard for me to get used to that sometimes. But our project actually is directly across NASA Parkway from the main entrance to the Johnson Space Center.
What a great location.
Along NASA Parkway, we're going to have about 70,000 feet of retail. That will be predominantly restaurants and business and personal services. Probably some banks and some other financial services, maybe even have a mortgage company, hopefully.
There you go. It's up till Renee, Corey.
And then lastly, we're going to have between 400 and 600,000 square feet of office space. And we think that that is an excellent opportunity to put some new Class A office space on the ground in Clear Lake. There really hasn't been any significant development, with a few exceptions, down there since the late 80s. And we think the market is ripe for new, high-quality office space, particularly located where our project is, which, as I mentioned, is directly across the street from the entrance to the Johnson Space Center.
What's the timing of the project?
Well, we hope to begin. We actually are going to begin the demolition of some existing buildings that are there in about 2 weeks. And we expect to be fully built out in about 3 to 3.5 years, although the retail and the first office building and the apartment project will be completed sometime in the probably first quarter of 2009.
How's been the community response?
It's been excellent. We are proud to be working closely with the city of Nassau Bay. We have been working with them on the entitlement process for a number of months now. There has been some give and take with the city officials, and the city has taken in a lot of input from the community. We feel like we've responded well to all of that input, and we have been greeted with a tremendously positive reception. It really is an opportunity to take an area of Clear Lake, a commercial area of Clear Lake that hasn't seen a lot of investment in recent years, and really put a new face on it with a lot of new, interesting, and valuable commercial real estate.
I think it's incredible. I am excited about your development there. I think it's the right thing at the right time. Absolutely. Any other projects in the works?
Well, we just completed a project in San Antonio, and we're very proud of that. We built a 130,000-foot office building there that complements our about 750,000 square foot portfolio in San Antonio. San Antonio is a market similar to Houston, and we found ourselves operating comfortably there and enjoyed it. And we are also looking at other development opportunities here in Houston, and we think now is a great time to be building, particularly given where we are in the commercial real estate cycle.
I don't think anything speaks louder for the opportunities in Houston and the Clear Lake area than you're investing in such a project and looking for additional investments. I think that says a lot that we're in the right city at the right time. So all that national news we keep hearing about how bad it is, that's not for your ears, Houston, and residents of Clear Lake. So I just stay tuned right here for great information. Well, we've got about a minute left. Edward, tell me how someone could get in contact with you, particularly some retailers or some people interested in the office or some of the other opportunities in your project.
Happy to do that, Steve. My phone number is 713-622-7714. As I mentioned, we're located right here in Houston in the Galleria. That's our corporate headquarters. Our website is www.griffinpartners.com, and my email is egriffin, and Griffin is spelled with an I-N, Griffin, at griffinpartners.com.
Well, how exciting to have you on the show. I'd love to have you back again and talk a little bit more and get some more updates about who's going in and who's signed on. We sure appreciate you being here. It's been great having you on the show. If you missed any part of this show, you can go to HoustonRealEstateToday.com. All shows are archived there. Any questions for Edward or for Greg Langford, any of my guests, just email us at info@HoustonRealEstateToday.com. We'll be back with more great information on Houston Real Estate Today. Don't go away. We'll be right back.